Hey everybody, One of Wisdom here. This is a pretty sweet video for you. This is going to cover the Skylanders Trap Team Tablet Starter Pack. In addition to some information that only I present to you, in the fashion I do, we've got some cool gameplay I want you to take a look at. That said, the Trap Team experience, full-on console experience available on tablets, $74.99, priced just the same as your standard starter pack. Android, iOS, Kindle Fire. There are minimum specs. You'll want to look into those. What's included? You're going to get Snapshot, Food Fight, The Water, and Life Trap. That's where the similarities end. You get a Bluetooth controller and a Bluetooth portal. Probably going to get the poster and everything. Nope, that hasn't really been mentioned. This was developed by Vicarious Visions. I thought those guys had been a little bit too quiet. They did a very nice job keeping this under wraps. It was kind of like a bombshell that I don't think anyone expected, and I personally think it's going to go over very well. Now, as I mentioned, you've got the full console experience. This isn't like some dumbed down version or mobile app that's just real shoddy. This is just like you'd play on a PS4. You can play with the Bluetooth controller, or what I think will resonate well with kids is just the touchscreen. There are sadly no physical exclusives. That's good for some people, bad for others, but you do have only available on the tablet-based game Instant Food Fight and Instant Snapshot. The good news, if you want to check those out, you can download the game for free, take it from there. Now, this is what you're looking at. There's probably just going to be a code inside. Pretty much the same thing. Note, though, they got that specially designed controller, and it tucks into the base of the portal. That right there is an epic shot. That is chaos in the game. I threw that picture in just because Funnybone was there. I thought some people might want it. And the other thing the portal does, it holds the tablet. Granted, most of you have it in a case, so that's kind of a hit or miss deal. Now we're going to take a look at some Food Fight gameplay here. I don't know if this is Instant Food Fight or not. The top of him kind of looks more yellow to me, but I love the tomato roll. That's really our best look at it outside of like the screenshot on Amazon that was there forever. I'm really going to like Food Fight. I haven't heard a lot of people going on about him. Snapshot now. He is actually the leader of the Trap Masters, if you did not know. More on that later. He just looks like an absolute beast every time I see him. It looks like he's got the charge attacks. Here's the new pirate level. It's probably going to be level 2 in all honesty. Wildfire. This is some cool gameplay. We see him do things we have never seen him do before. At least I haven't seen. Number one, he's charging that shield up. He's going to miss Sheep Creep, and then when he makes contact, it is an instant kill. Now, he may have done damage prior to that. I don't know. Now, pay attention to the shield. It's shaped kind of like a leaf there. He just shattered it, and now he's running on all fours. That was insanely awesome. Did not know that was a possibility. Personal favorite here is Wolfgang. What else is there to say? This guy he's like the Waluigi in my opinion. He needs his own game. Whether he ever gets it or not, I don't know. I also like how the riffs continue to progress. It's not like the same thing ever. So that's probably Painyatta, he seems to be a fan favorite. Here he is. I didn't have his artwork handy, so this is like the Lollipop Smash. Speaking of powers, his two obviously is like the candy barf and then the Lollipop Smash. That should actually work pretty well when you think about it. There's like the Kool-Aid stream, probably Soda Springs or something. But I like him. It's just Wolfgang's in a league all of his own. Now here is some. That's not the right name. Anyway, this is some. I'll edit that. This is some awesome gameplay here. I was worried about this, and now that I see the little electrical particles this guy's got, very awesome. And the other thing, he is insanely fast. We're talking like could outpace Stealth Elf here. If you've been with me for a long time, my two big things are speed and armor, and he's got speed covered. Very stoked about that. And again, I had never seen that before. Now, Krypt King. This might be the best gameplay I've seen. Part of me still hates seeing the gameplay ahead of time, but it is what it is. This is insane. In addition to the sword floating through and seemingly homing in on enemies, he drops sword from the sky. Looks like he just did the spit locust. It's actually a swarm of locusts. People have debated it's but that attack with the sword is just ridiculous. He could easily become my night shift, just kind of like a runaway epic character. Gearshift, she hadn't really impressed me until this. Not that, but you'll see what I mean. Number one, we've never seen that gear floating away in two directions, but more importantly, when she's shielded and she's got this going. So I'm thinking, as we progress closer to launch, they're showing us higher and higher levels. She looks pretty dad good here. Chopper, he is sure to be a fan favorite. He's almost like a Drobit, if you will, maybe like a, I don't know, anyway. Also shown here is attacks he's never had. Note there was one rocket, there went two. That's new. You're going to get to see the roar attack here in a second, which is pretty sweet. I think it's coming up inside this Traptanium area, so pay attention. He's shooting the rockets. We know he's got the double rockets now. Somewhere there's a roar. Okay, there was the blade attack, which is awesome. There was the roar I wanted to see. Torch, she looks like an absolute beast. I'm not going to say she's going to be along the lines of a Star Strike in this game, but she looks really, really hot. Oh, unintended here. Note that the color of the flames here, that's kind of like your standard, you know, coloring. Here in a second, you're going to see her kind of shoot like a blue-white flame, which, if you do anything with torches, you know that's the hottest flame. At least I thought, maybe. There it is. I'm thinking that was a charge attack. This is an extensive look at Funnybone now. Check it out. He's got the claw or the paw there hitting. He can spit out the green. He's got the gear wheel. There goes the green stuff I was talking about. I think I may like him better than him. I was never a huge Hot Dog fan, but in terms of Skylanders top dog, probably him. Now, as always, we get a few villains to balance out all that good in the world, and we're going to get started with a tried and true favorite, the Chompy Mage. I almost feel like when we see him, we need dialogue with Flame. I don't know why. I guess it's just like, if you watch the credits, you'll understand. But he seems to have base attacks. He's got the Chompy Smash, and you're like, well, what's his other one? There you go. He can turn into what you battled in Skylanders Giants, and he's got the ground pound going. It's almost just like the boss battle. So that is very cool. I don't know if it's timed or not. Sheep Creep. Never trust the sheep. Of course, he tried to lead the sheep rebellion. Things didn't go so well. And you saw him previously just get decimated with one hit from Wildfire. But, I don't know, he's the first villain you're going to trap, so I mean, don't expect a roar from him. He'll actually probably be pretty fun to play as, in all honesty. There's a Soul Gem. I kind of think that Shroom Boom, I've seen that from a different angle. But note, all this was actually gameplay from the tablet. If you looked up in the upper right-hand corner, you would see like the pause button and then like the little, I think, switch between your characters. You can use the Bluetooth controller, or you can use the tablet in your hand. Now, personally, I think with adults, you know, maybe, yeah, you're going to bust out the controllers. Kids might play with it initially, but the issue is with the mobile gaming market, I feel like it's just going to be hands-on because that's what the kids want. The fact that Vicarious Visions, this is really the first instance I know of this happening. Again, this isn't like some dumbed-down, you know, 10 megabyte version of a game. This is the full-on, if you have a Wii U and a PS4 and an Xbox One and a Wii or whatever your console library may be, this is the exact same game. It's not like the 3DS where it's a different version, you know, maybe sized down. It's not like past mobile games that are just like completely standalone spin-offs. This is the entire console experience. You could literally buy this. Your friend could have the console version on Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo, and you could play ahead of him and you could tell him what to expect based on what you experienced on the tablet. Now, do I think there are downsides to this? Yes. Number one, and this one's kind of overlooked even though it's obvious, it's simply the file size. Being the full console experience, this thing might be a big file size. Now, most parents don't go out and buy their... This is mainly for the Apple people. There's some things I like that Apple does, and there's a lot that I don't. Something Android does is you can upgrade your storage. You have SD cards. Now, if an iPad would ever get an SD card, that would be fantastic, but it probably won't happen because Apple likes to throw their nose up in the air and, you know, simple things like that. So essentially, if you got your kid like a 16 gig iPad or something, and they've got a ton of games on there, you might have to make some space for it, so be forewarned. That said, I've seen nothing on the file file size. It could be manageable. I just downloaded Game & Wario because it was free, and it was my Club Nintendo gift. But it was like 3,200, so you're talking like 3.2 gigabytes for Game & Wario. I would expect Trap Team, the full console experience, to exceed that. So it's definitely something feasible, or else they wouldn't do it. But keep that in mind. You may have to make space, or if you're buying a tablet specifically for this, size up. If you've got the cash handy, that is not a bad investment. And again, not a big deal with Android stuff, because you just get an SD card or something. So Apple people, though, be warned. The other thing, I personally hate to see a migration to handheld stuff. It's super convenient, it's fun, but I feel like people are getting farther and farther away from what is quality gaming, you know. So many apps and games are just cheesy, they're stupid, I mean, it's like they kill some time, but people are like living Candy Crush and not playing, you know, Mario games. Or they're playing Jewel Witch, Bejeweler, Bedazzle, Tetris spin-off crud, and they're maybe missing out on like Final Fantasy or Pokemon or something. That to me is a travesty, because I mean, you're basically, I mean, if your idea of gaming is Farmville or Jewel Quest, or I don't even know what they're called because I don't play them, you're missing out. Now the thing here, this is basically what Vicarious Visions did. They basically just, I mean, flipped the bird to what everyone else is doing, because this is not a lame, you know, like Jewel Quest type Tetris spin-off thing. This is the full-on game. I can't stress that enough. This isn't a, you know, the 3DS version. It's not scaled down from your Xbox One. This is the exact same thing all on your tablet. So that is ridiculously impressive. It's probably been done before, but not with something on this scale. For example, if you might come in and, I don't know, Skyrim or something, maybe they'd put something on a tablet, but it wouldn't be like what you could do on your computer or what you could do on your home console. So what they pulled off is pretty dadgum ridiculous just from a technical standpoint. I would imagine it was quite the undertaking. I don't think they'll probably ever get the credit they deserve for pulling this off. The good news here, I think it's going to get more people into Skylanders. Maybe if, you know, all your friends were raving about Skylanders and you got it for Christmas, but you're glued to your tablet, you know, and you've got the console there, but you know, not gonna do it unless a friend's over. This will actually, you know, eliminate that. It's right there at your fingertips. The cool thing is, I'd love to get my hands on the controller, but I think a lot of people, particularly the younger audiences, are probably still going to gravitate towards just touchscreen. I've gotten used to it just from all the Pocket Edition hours I've logged in Minecraft. That's a good example. It's not by any means the full-on PC. They're getting closer to that. They'll probably never mimic it, you know, completely, but it's one of those games on the tablet that actually mirrors what's available on the full-blown experience, you know. So but again, this is kind of groundbreaking, really. Will we see NBA 2K15 or Madden 15 full version available on your tablet? I seriously doubt it, especially anything from EA, but that's another story. Actually, if they could make money, they'd probably do it. That aside, this is really, really cool. I think it's going to resonate super well with people. From my perspective, if my little iPad mini can handle it, I'll probably pick it up. It's a bummer, you know, that the slot there probably holds it without a case. If you've got your tablet for a young kid, it's probably in a case. That's not a deal breaker, particularly, again, if you hold it handheld. You know, that's going to eliminate the controller anyway. A lot of people probably won't even know the controller's in there, to be honest with you. It's pretty slick how they incorporated that with the Portal. The Portal does have the sound, so that's really cool. It's not even scaled back to that point. The villains, when you trap them, you will hear them in the Portal, so very well done there. The only thing I'm really disappointed about is just that it's the exact same characters. You know, in the past when I bought Skylanders Battlegrounds, I got Royal Double Trouble, and that was pretty awesome. I know a lot of people make a fuss about that. It's like, oh, I don't want to buy that. You know, it's the only way to get that character. To me, that's incentive. Like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to have it for the Wii U and the Xbox One and the 3DS, which we still know nothing about at all. And I'd like to have it for the tablet, but it would take a back seat to the console in my life. I'm old school, I guess. Born in the '80s, grew up in the '90s type thing, I guess. Senior citizen of gaming. I don't know, but I would absolutely love to do it. I think my nephew's going to eat it up. But the thing is, like, the incentive for me would be if, and not necessarily Food Fight or Snapshot, but, maybe if there was just, like, I don't know, Chopper. Even if it wasn't a special character, even if it was just like you get a third character type thing. So that's really the only downside there. And then again, only thing I'm curious about really is the file size. You'll definitely want to check into that, before you go and shell out for it. But again, most of you, can make space. Obviously, for something that's cool or important in your life, you can, be rid of some of those like bad app games that people get, that I don't know the names of, but see on TV commercials and just cringe inside. I really do. But that said, I've rambled on long enough. Now you know my thoughts on it. Do I plan to pick it up if at all possible? Yes, but like I said, for me, where it's at would be the console version. Still, like I said, I'm a little old school. This would be really cool though, because if I'm in the car on a trip, I can come in. The only other gripe I would have, what they did with the 3DS last year was epic. I know a lot of you don't have a 3DS and don't care, but you have the entire playable character roster. I say this time and time again. That and the training grounds in the console versions were the biggest advancements in the series to date, in my opinion. I know the iPad would be capable of that. That probably would have been just another couple of months or sleepless nights out of their life. Maybe in the future they'll do it like they said. I heard that they had to wait to do this because the processing power simply wasn't there from the tablets. That's why, again, at the start I mentioned there is a base minimum processing power, so keep that in mind. But if you had your full roster, like I'm on the go, I don't know, I'm in the back seat with my nephew and we're an hour 5 of an 8-hour drive across the great state of Texas. I'm in Chapter 6 and I want to play as Terrafin, and I would have him, so I want to play as Zap. We're going to need to have the figures with us or something. If that was all confined to the iPad, that would be an 11 out of 10 super win right there. So, and being the first time this is done and as groundbreaking as it is, I've got to give them a pass on that. And if it's implemented in the future, that will be absolutely killer. But what's mind-blowing to me is it's not dumbed down. It is the full-on exact same thing as the console. And I know a lot of people, like I said, won't appreciate it, and they'll probably never get the credit they deserve for it, but that is pretty dadgum cool. So, really outside of not including like a third character or something, physical for us, like an alter ego or something, even simple. Again, I think Chopper would have been a good choice, just like that little something like, oh, hey, if I'm going out day one and getting the Dark Edition for the Wii U, the standard starter pack for the Xbox One, why would I get the tablet version? Oh, it's because Chopper's included, and then I, one less single pack to buy or something. Or even if they included a couple minis, just number of things they could have done there, I think would have appealed to like the hardcore side and the collectors and players, maybe a little advanced in age or something. But it should be a lot of fun. I'm probably going to wind up with it on day one regardless, and I will probably be back there dividing my tablet time now between Minecraft Pocket Edition, the other Skylander apps like Battlegrounds and Lost Islands, and now the full-on console experience, which is still mind-blowing. So if I ever get a break at work and I'm sitting there wondering what Chapter 3 is like when I'm going to come home and continue the playthrough, I'll just sneak it in on the tablet. So props to Vicarious Visions there. That is pretty dadgum cool. I know I've rambled on a long time here, so what I'll probably do in this dead space is come in and stick some random pictures for you. So my apologies there, but this kind of covers everything for you. So Skylanders Trap Team full console experience on the tablet, same starter pack price as your standard console versions. Check it out. Let me know if you want to pick it up. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know, kind of if you're planning to pick this up for yourself, for your kids, nieces, nephews, grandkids. If your kids or grandkids are glued to the tablets and prefer that over consoles and 3DSs, which if you've got kids, get them a 3DS. That you will not regret that, I assure you. And then you will raise a generation of people that still appreciate the classics and don't wind up spending their time playing really lame games that shouldn't have been made. But Trap Team, groundbreaking what they're doing here. Full console on the tablet. I can't wait to see it in person, get my hands on it. And like I said, I really want to see and feel the controller, but then I know I'll probably wind up doing what my nephew will do, which is just, touchscreen. So anyway, though, I will quit rambling. I'll probably put a disclaimer in here. You can stop at like the 10-minute mark if you don't want to hear my thoughts and outtakes on it. But again, this is a really, really cool thing that Vicarious Visions has pulled off. So props to those guys. Like I said, I thought they'd been a little too quiet, and I think this is going to resonate very, very well with people. So as always, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. If you are not subscribed, do that right now. As a subscriber, you will be the first to know when there's crazy news breaks or when new videos come out. You can follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. Once again, thanks for watching. If you like what I'm doing, hit that button. It would be much appreciated as I try to compete with the crazy giant partnered channels and things of that nature. But once again, very, very cool. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I will catch you back here next time.